So my brother Turd Flinging Monkey, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, my fellow simian, he wants UBI to fucking stand here and placate the masses of individuals who are going to lose their jobs. You know, I mean, because, you know, the shipping industry and most of the industries in America at this point are trying to fucking get everything at such a low fucking cost because, well, let's be honest, Americans can't afford nothing due to the fucking inflation from how much fucking money we're spending already. But by all means, man, you know, I think maybe we should just stand here and, how do you put it? Oh, yeah, fucking just continue this fucking process. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe we should just continue to fucking hide the fact that our fucking economy's goddamn dog shit. You know what I mean? Maybe we shouldn't make these individuals pay for the fucking mess they created. I mean, because if you drill for fucking oil, you know what I mean, in America and whatnot, you know what I mean, around fucking houses and you fuck up the goddamn land, you know what I mean, what you do is you go to the government and ask them to clean it up, right? Oh, no, you don't? What you do is you go and you fucking, you make the company pay for it? Well, maybe we should do the same thing with this, with all these fucking extra profits they're gonna fucking get from throwing Americans out in their fucking ass.
Hey everyone, this is Turd Flinging Monkey, and today I'm going to talk about some UBI and why it's inevitable and why that's okay. Now, I know previously I've talked about how UBI is basically communism, and you're like, wait a minute, RTFM, are you saying UBI isn't communism? No, that's not what I'm saying. So you're saying you support communism? Not really. Like, in a perfect world, no, I would absolutely not support communism. However, we need to take a step back and look at the situation. And I think once I explain this to you, you'll see that UBI is inevitable and why it is indeed okay. What started this journey is I saw a Stardust video about Andrew Yang. And so I watched a couple videos. There were some interviews on Joe Rogan. I watched those and I'm like, okay, I just kind of understand what this guy's coming from. And I actually learned some stuff. One of the things I learned is that basically 50% of American jobs are going to be lost in the next, 10 years or something with automation. Robots and AI are going to basically cause 50% unemployment.
I too went through and listened to all of Andrew Yang's stuff after seeing him on the Joe Rogan podcast probably about 5 days ago, something like that. And I sat there and I went through and I listened to his TED Talks about, you know, the movement of people inside of the economic system. And then I sat there and listened to him speak about UBI and how exactly he was going to pay for it and the way in which he was going to stand here and say that it was going to save us money long term on prison spending and all this other type of shit. You know, so don't get anything misunderstood. I've stood there and listened to all of what Andrew Yang has to say about UBI and its principles. And yeah, the 50% job loss thing is something that's coming. So let's keep going.
Now, in the grand scheme of things, that's fine. However, the last time we had a disruption of the economy of this scale was during the Industrial Revolution. During the Industrial Revolution, there was this group called the Luddites. And these were basically farm workers who lost their job to machines. And they went around burning factories, sabotaging equipment, and basically being terrorists. And they wanted things to go back to the way they were because they were unemployed. It was a very violent time. Stardust mentioned this in his video. However, there's something very different about today that didn't exist during that period in the Industrial Revolution. We now have universal suffrage. So it's not just that these people can command violence and will use violence because they're simply too stupid to adapt.
And here's where we begin to part ways. See, I don't see a man who's worked his whole motherfucking life and paid taxes into the fucking system and trained himself to be fucking exceptional at his goddamn job as somebody who's a stupid individual who's too dumb to adapt to the new situation. I see him as an individual who's being affected by a massive fucking change and shift in the paradigm of how the world works, and it's not in his fucking control. So maybe, just maybe, we can have this conversation without looking down upon fellow fucking human beings and American citizens and our neighbors in this motherfucking manner.
They also control the government. So when you put those two together, like the traditional response, when the Luddites were going around burning shit, the government responded and shot them. That is the correct response. But when you're talking about roughly 50% of the population in a democratic society where they vote, that will not fucking happen. I promise you that will not happen. So taking the government restoring order and putting down the terrorists off the table because they're the majority, what is going to happen? One of two things will happen. Either we destroy the technology, go back in time, and pretend this technology doesn't exist so that these Luddites can live in the world which has left them behind. And there are cases where the countries have done this. In India, for example, when the mechanical loom was invented, India saw that all these hand loomers were going to go out of business. They were going to be unemployed. And so they banned the use of the mechanical loom, forcing people to loom by hand so that they'd keep the employed hand looming industry intact. All that really did is it increased the price of textiles and made India poor. Because they didn't have cheap fabric to make clothes, they were spending a higher percentage of their income on what we would consider basic necessities. That meant less money to put in other sectors of the economy to create economic growth.
All right, so this is actually a point where TFM is technically wrong. All right, the handloom industry in India is a trade service. It's something that actually produces a fucking good, all right? It's a tradable good that gets traded with the rest of the world. And once you have a more expensive product, you're not going to be able to sell it to the rest of the fucking world in competition because you're not using the mechanical means. Now, when you start talking about things like trucking or individuals flipping burgers or any of the other 50% of the fucking jobs that are going to get eliminated, the healthcare fucking coders, these individuals here, right? You're talking about a service sector job. You're not talking about manufacturing. So when we say that we can't just go, we don't need to use this product, I don't think we actually have to use this product, though that's not the way that I'm going to actually defend this, but this is actually an option, quite technically, because these are not jobs that are traded overseas, and these are not industries which are, affected by things overseas. These are normal national inside fucking service sector economy jobs that literally, are just in this country. They don't get traded internationally. So, it's not like, you can go, oh man, fucking China's going to end up taking those jobs. No, because, fucking China can't take those jobs. You can open up Chinese companies, right? But you know what? You can still have the same fucking regulations on them as you do as Americans. So just saying, literally, we're fucking not looking at this in the proper manner.
Actually screwed themselves, but the hand loomers, what are we going to do? It's never a good idea to do that, because as India decided to swear off the mechanical loom, other countries were making cheap textiles, and the demand for Indian textiles plummeted because it was too expensive, because they were still making it by hand.
And again, we get back to, look at the situation. Legitimately, other than affecting the price of, consumer goods that are going to go to other countries through our shipping process, you're only talking about $186 billion out of, a pool of, $7 or $8 billion that goes overseas every fucking year. So we're not really affecting the fucking price that much. That's kind of the deal. Either way, you're still going to have to buy trucks. You have to buy the computer equipment. Have the individuals to run the motherfucking systems and do all the technical data stuff. You're still going to have the repairs. You will still have all the fucking issues that you have today, just minus salaries. And the salaries are kind of going to get canceled out a little bit by the amount of money it's going to cost for the fucking technology and the R&D. But the R&D eventually will disappear, just as it does with the PlayStation, where, they sell the PlayStation at a loss basically for the first year or so. And then it ends up starting making money after that because they have to make up the R&D budget that they originally fucking put into it. But, again, we're not really talking about that much fucking money here, and it's not going to affect the prices of anything in that fucking manner with the majority of the shit that we're talking about. And if you're talking about consumer goods inside of the United States, What the fuck good is it to have a fucking cheap goddamn hamburger or to have cheap shipping on shit that you can't afford in the first fucking place? This is the same argument for the slave fucking wages from fucking Mexico. It's, oh man, who's gonna pick the fruit? Nigga, I don't give a fuck who picks the fruit. I don't eat that many goddamn oranges that I feel like our fucking wages should be driven down by fucking illegal immigrants coming into the goddamn country working for $2 an hour. Let's keep this shit all the way 100 here. Free markets is cool, but you know what? At some point, you have to have a conversation and go, hey, look, people live in these free markets, and we have to be able to survive and consume fucking goods.
Now, you could subsidize it the way China subsidizes its exports, but then you're taxing your own people to make other countries richer. That's fucking retarded. So this idea of, banning the technology, destroying the technology, going back to the way things were, that's not only a stupid idea, it's counterproductive, and it's simply going to make everybody poor, especially the country as a whole, because the country will not be able to compete with other countries which don't do that. They will be able.
Well, again, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just came up with another motherfucking idea. Like, how about, you know what I'm saying? We allow the companies to stand here and start putting in robot trucks. Like, and I mean, to like replace original drivers going into the market. And every time somebody retires out of the motherfucking market, you stand here and you put another robot driver in. And eventually you just phase the fucking driver out rather than doing it all the fuck at once. And you end up with a massive amount of fucking unemployed people. There's other ways to do this shit, is what I'm saying, that make way more motherfucking sense. And add to that, what fucking good is having fucking, cheaper goods or having goods in general if nobody can fucking buy them? That's kind of the whole goddamn point of this. Like, oh man, it's gonna make everybody poorer. Yeah, so will unemploying everybody. And then end up taxing them to death or end up fucking standing here giving out free fucking money, which will be hyperinflated, and then you'll have no ability to buy any fucking thing. This whole fucking mentality is wrong. Like, legitimately, it's wrong. I understand where TFM's going with this, but there are better ways to do this shit, better ways to legislate this shit, and thinking about it long term rather than thinking about it motherfucking short term is a much better fucking option. I've actually sat on this shit for about a week thinking about it, just to come up with these type of mentalities.
To be more productive than the United States, and then the economy will completely shit the bed. So let's take that off the table because it's a really fucking stupid idea. Although there will be plenty of people advocating for that. So if we're not going to grease these people, and we're not going to destroy the technology to allow them to continue to do the jobs that they've been doing, what do we do with these people? We're talking 50% unemployment. The only way to keep them from turning to crime and violence, there's going to be blood in the streets and the Luddites going around shooting shit and burning shit, you have to pay them off. You have to. It's the only option you have. So UBI, if done correctly, can be a form of a soft purge.
Grease people, soft purges. Like, yo, for fuck's sake, man. Like, seriously, this is completely unnecessary. There's better ways to do this. How about, I don't know, let's eliminate property taxes. Can we get rid of child support? Can we fucking stand here and, maybe put up solar panels on people's houses to eliminate their need for electrical fucking power? Get them off the goddamn grid. There are other ways to do this shit which are better long term than UBI. Like, yo, for fuck's sakes. God damn it. Like, why the fuck is it like that this here is like such a difficult subject to have a conversation about without sitting here having like this conversation about greasing people and purges and all this ridiculous nonsense and calling individuals fucking names and Luddites and shit. These are hardworking Americans who are working jobs right now. These are productive people at the moment who are going to be unproductive because of the economy, not because of their own stupidity. Like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Let me explain why it's okay, if it's done in the right way. If you watch my video series, The Solution, I talk about how technology, transhumanism, futurism, that is the answer to gynocentrism and all this crap with feminism and so forth. We're never going to get there if we destroy our technology. We're never going to get there if we let the Luddites destroy our technology. So giving these dipshits UBI to pay them off so they'll just fuck off and leave us alone so we don't destroy everything and we can continue to advance is a good thing. Will UBI lead to communism? Yes. Will UBI preserve technology? Yes.
Actually, the answer there is no. All right. When you eliminate competition, you eliminate fucking capitalism, you eliminate fucking technology. and you do know this already, we all understand this. This is a basic tenet of our fucking beliefs, is the fact that, if you don't have capitalism and fucking competition, you don't get new fucking technologies. All right? Fucking communism does not lead to new technologies. Legitimately. Like, so, why, how about we think this one the whole way to fuck through, all right? Because you're just going to end up collapsing everything anyway. I went over this in my video where I stood here and I fucking said, look here, you're going to end up doubling the national fucking debt in fucking 10 years. Probably faster than that, to be honest with you, because you're going to end up with COLAs and you're going to end up having Social Security cost more and Medicare costs more. Hell, we already fucking, like, dude, if you saw the numbers year to year from 2017, 2018, 2019 for the fucking budget, you would understand. All right, and I've shown you these fucking numbers, TFM. I have shown you these numbers. I've sent them to you. All right, because me and you both fucking love this economic shit. We love this number shit. That's what me and you love to do. Because even though people don't fucking watch it, so you don't do it as often as I think you should. You know what I mean? We love this fucking number shit. All right, and you've watched the fucking shit grow from fucking 900 billion to 1.1 trillion to 1.4 trillion in 3 fucking years. And guess what? It's going to keep fucking growing as long as we continue to print money. So no, UBI is not a fucking solution. The solution is to stand here and fucking maintain our capitalist fucking market and be able, you know what? Say, hey, look, man, shipping companies, you're going to have to charge a little more for your fucking shit. It is what it is. And it's not even going to cost them that much. Legitimately. They've been suppressing wages for fucking years anyway. They're paying a lot of these guys next to nothing. Make them pay a pension. Just make them keep them on the fucking dole and do this shit slowly. All right? You don't have to do this all the fucking once. And this is all legislation that can be fucking done properly and ran properly. We cannot just have a wild ass fucking capitalist system, because one day you're going to end up being the fucking Luddite. Or one day you're going to have a kid and you're going to watch him be the fucking Luddite. And everybody's going to stand here and look at him and go, well, you're a worthless piece of shit, ain't you? And it ain't going to fucking feel so good. And you're going to fucking go, man, look, maybe we can stand here and do this a little bit fucking slower and not destroy shit so fucking quickly. And maybe, just maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you'll have a little bit more fucking compassion for your fellow man at that point. Maybe it's the fact that I'm a goddamn dad. And, you know what I mean? I have to stand here and think about the future generations. It is what it is. Either way, man, look, you know the situation. Repeal the fucking 19th. I got love for you.